Tottenham Chelsea then. It's a must-win game for both teams, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is always one that is a fiery fixture. Very, very fiery. Obviously, we've only won 3 out of 18 at home.
Oh.
Got terrible. Well, this is just generally. This is not even the record against Chelsea.
Yeah.
We've just not been good at home whatsoever. Look, I'll be honest. Chelsea again last night really, struggled. I mean, they let Wolves right back into that yesterday. Obviously coming off the back of their loss as well at the weekend to Sunderland. I don't look at Chelsea like how I used to look at Chelsea, right? Like when Spurs would play Chelsea, I would be like, oh my God, like they are serious club. Doesn't mean we still won't drop points at the weekend, because there's certain fixtures I look at when they come out and I say, okay, realistically, if we could get something out of a game between Arsenal, like that would be good, because historically one usually wins at home, the other one usually wins at home. But again, over the last few years, that's not really been the case. I look at Chelsea and I'm like, that's usually 6 points gone already. It does not matter how bad Chelsea have been at times. Spurs just can't do it when it comes to Chelsea. It's always a fun one. There's always lots of heat in it. But I don't look at Chelsea and fear them. Like, I really don't. I'm more fearful of, like, my own team. Like, what are you going to create? What are you going to do? Because I look at players like an Esteval and their movement, and I just think, well, that's a big problem for Spurs, because at the moment we're kind of dependent on these set pieces.
Ooh.
And that's a concern for me, even though they're good. It's like, I can't bank on Spurs every single game they're going to score from a set piece. Like, this is Tottenham we're talking about. I spent years seeing Eriksen hit the first man, from a corner. So I don't know. I'm worried about the fact that there just is there's really no movement in that Spurs side. I don't know.
It is a set piece at the minute. Where do you think the goal or assist is going to come from? That bit of spark in the middle.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I really like Sarr. I'm a very, very big fan of Pat Matasar, and I think that he should be starting. You could see from his reaction the other day when he got his goal against Everton that he was not happy. He didn't really justify being dropped, actually, and that is obviously a Thomas Frank decision he started him last night, but a decision to not start him in the Prem. I would start him because at least you've got legs there. You've got someone that can carry the ball and move the ball forward, whereas, like, Xavi Simons isn't really doing that, picking the pass. I would probably have a Polinia, Sarr, Bergvall midfield, but I know that he'll want to put Bentancur in there. He likes to have that kind of extra man for stability.
You going to this game?
Yeah, I'm going. And then I look at kind of what we've got on the wings. It's just very underwhelming for me right now in terms of going forward, because the creative players that we do have are out. The target man I would want there who can try and help connect the dots in someone like a Solanke isn't there. You haven't got Kulusevski, you haven't got Maddison. And I just think, I look at the front line. Do you go with a Tell or an Odebert, who, again, haven't really torn up any trees? Colomwani. I haven't seen enough of Colomwani, really.
He had a shot last night that was well saved.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough. Like, I need a little bit of energy and a little bit of spark and magic from somewhere, and I don't look at that Tottenham team and see it from any of the options that we have. I think that it's still an area that wasn't addressed enough in the summer. I think Kudus is a really good signing, and I think when we've got a Kudus and a Kulusevski to choose from, and Solanke is back, that is much, much better than what I'm looking at right now. But I still think that area, when you lose someone like Kane, which, as I know, we're going into 3 seasons of that now, he's irreplaceable, like, full stop in that sense. Obviously, the decline of Son over the last 2 years anyway, you had 2 years to really go and find someone that could be of that level and of that ilk, and they just didn't do it. And I look at Brennan and I think, oh my God,
he's not the one.
Yeah, you are lacking quality. Yeah,
just lacking a lot of quality. Once you have to get into, like, the bones of the team when you've got those injuries, and that's no secret. Like, look at the injury Spurs had last season. I don't want it to be an excuse. You should have probably done better in those forward areas in the summer.
From a Chelsea point of view, though, I think you're right. Kudos, I think, is your main threat. Yeah, I agree. From a Chelsea point of view, though, that they're defensively really struggling. I mean, they just leaked 3 goals against Wolves. I know they rotated a little bit, but it was still Tosin was still playing, who's a first teamer. Cucurella, first teamer. Achampong is a first teamer. So that's more or less a close backline to what you're going to see against Spurs. But also for Chelsea going forward, right? João Pedro can't shoot, apparently, or isn't shooting. Garnacho or Gittins on the left is very hit and miss. I know Gittins had a good game yesterday, but consistency isn't there. On the right, okay, maybe an Esteval has moments of quality, but he's still young, and you can't really expect too much of him right now. Pedro Neto, I think a little bit better, but again, the same hit and miss. I'm looking at their top goal scorers right now. It's Caicedo on 3, Enzo Fernandez on 3, João Pedro on 2. So when you're talking about goals in that front line, it doesn't exist. It's not there right now. So I'm almost tempted to say Tottenham might be the favourites going into this one, if I'm being completely honest. The only way Chelsea do well here is if they dominate the midfield battle, which they could do with a Caicedo, Enzo. Yeah. But if you can still hurt them, because like I said, their backline is vulnerable, I don't see where Chelsea score. I mean, like I said,
you
Caicedo,
will score.
Enzo, do you reckon they score?
Yeah. Also, Romero's been out as well. Like, I actually think Kevin Danso did a really good job against Everton. Also, the throw-ins are just ridiculous. Like, they're like they're mad. I just think you do score. I think this is always, it doesn't probably have the same like intensity that it maybe has had over other seasons. I don't know if you feel the same way. Like, just because both of us are in like a
I don't know what to expect from either team.
Yeah, like
any given week.
It's very weird, both of us. But I just feel like when you go through kind of that midfield and like trying to dominate it, I think Thomas Frank will want to do that. So I can't actually imagine he will play a Bergvall or a Sarr. I think he will probably go with more of.
It'll be Bentancur and Basuma and Sarr.
No, but no Basuma.
Sorry, Paulinho,
yeah.
Right. And then have you someone on the left? He's got to play.
Yeah, he'll play.
Yeah, he can't not start it.
It will probably be those two. And then again, that just means no creativity, which means that Spurs will probably have to go more into the set piece situation.
Can we get a score prediction from the table, please?
I really don't know.
I'm gonna go. I reckon Spurs nick it. I'll go 2-1 Spurs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why do you think that? I don't know if you believe that.
Chelsea are so. I don't know what to expect. I mean, they could they beat Liverpool and looks really good.
Yeah.
And then against Sunderland, they were so stale and so lackluster. So, off the back of the fact that you're home and you're maybe a little bit better form, I don't know.
It's weird because I think if the game was away, I probably fancy Tottenham more. They seem to be better away from home.
Excluding last night, obviously. But
some of the games I've seen them play at home, they against Villa, they were getting taken apart in that second half against, Wolves. They weren't great in that.
Lost to Bournemouth.
You know what I mean? Like, but then you're right. Chelsea, their defense is not good enough, really. Correa's a brilliant defender. Reece James is good, but the two centre backs are they're good, but they're not top. I'm going to sit on the fence. I think it's going to be a draw. I don't know. I just can't separate the two teams. I think, as I said, if it was away from home, I think I would have probably favoured Tottenham. Like at home, for some reason, Tottenham at home, it's like they don't know really what way to attack a game.
No.
So draw for me. I'm going to go for a draw.
If I'm being honest, I probably think this is a draw. I think it's probably 1-1, but I feel like I should back my own team. So I'll go Spurs 2-1.
Yeah,
2-1.
I think draws. I think Chelsea have done what Liverpool have done, and I think they've just overspent on attack and not spent enough on defence.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal are proving this season that defence, at the moment, with the style of football that the Premier League's playing, is more important than attack. But I think both are pretty inconsistent. But I think there'll be goals in it because it always is. It's always a bit spicy in it.
I don't feel like there's much spice in it.
I don't think
there is goals. I think
there's always spice. There's always a lot of flying challenges.
It does always kick off.
But there's no quality in attack there from either team.
It's kind of like we don't really have you know how there's usually like a real bite and grit about it. Obviously, like just naturally we both just dislike each other's clubs to a very deep level. But like I don't feel like there's really that on the pitch right now. Like I just don't.
Even in past few seasons, obviously you had a Palmer and a Son.
Yeah.
A little bit of quality there. Do you know what I mean? That's missing now. It's not there.
Yeah.
So there could be still a spice. Something could kick off.
So what's your score prediction?
I went 2-1.
2-1.
Spurs.
I'll go for a draw. I think this one ends in a draw.